We're working on the Summer Steelhead Boss series, and I don't have my bucktail cut in advance. We're going to do a black and two different kind of blues. One is a white dyed kingfisher. The other is a grizzly dyed blue. It's always fun shooting these videos because you never quite know what you're going to forget to do when you get busy talking. Now what on earth? Oh yeah, I knew I had to add something in there. Crystal flash, pearl. Now, could you use a different color crystal flash? Absolutely. If you're going to use a blue cast for your collar hackle, why not use a smolt blue for your little bit of crystal flash in the tail? I've actually got some here that I use with my green butt skunk. So it's fun to mix up these things. One of the key things about these tails, however, is not too heavy. If you put too much bucktail in there, it interferes with the ability of the fly to sink and swim true. And if you put in too much crystal flash, the fly just looks too crystal flashy, I think. So, feathers. Quick. Kingfisher blue. This happens to come on a saddle patch, but you can get Kingfisher blue strung saddle hackles and schlappen. The schlappen is this is actually very close. This would be strung as a schlappen hackle. Notice I almost forgot the chenille.
How about hackle length, Jay? I mean, you like it to be a certain length back to the bend or back to the point or the barb?
Not back to the point, not back to the barb. These are tied boss style or comet style, so really about like you would a fully dressed summer steelhead fly. Not, a real sparse low water dress would be just a little tiny beard. But you can, so maybe, I guess, in theory, those points do, never thought about it, I just know what I like. Those points, if you fold them back, do touch the point of the hook. Now, I've got 5 or 6 turns on there. Could I put fewer turns? Yes. In lower water, warmer water, clearer water, I would in fact put fewer turns. But I'm tying this for a cold water early season or White River's blown out on the Deschutes. So there you go. You're black with a dark kingfisher. It's going to still have that blue cast, but it's going to be a little bit, it's going to look different. It's going to be broken up a little bit more. So I've got my bucktail, and when you get in the groove tying these, they go pretty quickly. But gosh, I mean, this fly, it presents a really, for as sparse as it is, you could, I suppose, it's probably violating the rules, but you could consider this an intruder type of fly. Because look at how long it is. I mean, it's this long. It's gonna trigger some takes. It's not as fully dressed as a lot of intruders are, but it's a long fly. So wrap under that tail. Throw on that, hit it with the scissors. So I'm going to reach over here. I got a couple choices of hackles, and this is a Metz. These are really hard to get a hold of. This is a hairline. Whiting does some dyed hackles. Whoa! I'm going to go clear down to the base. If I use these hackles up here, they're too skinny. This hackle, this saddle patch was purchased for intruders, so you go clear down to the base, and even on this feather, no good, no good, no good. Oh, there, now we're coming into it. Oh yeah, there we go. So we got to go clear down in here. One of the biggest mistakes, you know what, that feather isn't quite nice enough. I know we're going to run long here, but let's, oh yeah. People, in their thriftiness, try to use every feather. And as a consequence, their flies just can't turn out very nicely. You have to be ruthless. Now, that tip, you could save that to use on intruders or to palmer over bodies later, and that's great. But in terms of finding a hackle that's the proper web, when you're sorting strung schlappen, you may find that you use 30% of the feathers in a packet. That's okay. Use the best 30%. Pitch the rest. And the the feathers that are good for some flies aren't going to be good for others. So maybe your total usage is more like 50%. But it's way better to sort and be selective than to try to tiger flies with hackles that are anything less than perfect.